Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Malaysia Booker, Trayvon Martin. There are way too many names and way too many hashtags that symbolize the systems of oppression against Black people in America. My name is Amber Goodwin, and I'm the Executive Director of the Community Justice Action Fund. We're building power with and for Black communities to end gun violence. Swipe up to join us today.
Hey little monsters, my name is Sarah Mokuria and I am the co-founder of Mothers Against Police Brutality. Did you know that 1 in 13 people who are killed by guns in this country are killed by police? People like my father, Testify Mokuria. People like Clinton Allen. People like Breonna Taylor, whose birthday it is today. We are families advocating for the divestment from the police and the investment into our communities. Join us in our fight to end gun violence in our country at mothersagainstpolicebrutality.org. You know what to do, little monsters.
I'm Cleopatra Cowley Pendleton. I'm a co-founder of Ideas Promise, an organization that was developed to honor the legacy and life of my daughter, Hadia Pendleton, who was murdered at the age of 15, January 29, 2013. She had just returned home after participating in President Barack Obama's second inaugural events, only to have her life taken via gun violence. Her death gave life to the Wear Orange movement. However, this 501c3 organization created by her family offers trauma-informed counseling to survivors, as well as a resource to the community. And we also work on legislation that makes common sense for gun laws.
Hey everybody, it's Devon with Advanced Peace. You know we can end gun violence in this country, and we should. It simply requires a deliberate decision to do so. 12 years ago, I lost my own brother to gun violence. And just 2 days ago, on June 2nd, his son, my nephew, was shot and killed in the very city I grew up in. This virus devastates families and communities. We must do better, and we can.
My name is Tia. I'm the founder of For You and the Trigger Project DC. By the time I was 17 years old, I lost way too many people to gun violence, and I don't want my young people to suffer the way I had to. So I started 2 gun violence prevention organizations to raise awareness of self and others, bring compassion to gun violence prevention. So stay connected to the Trigger Project DC and For You, and wear orange.
Getting in that community, talking to those mothers who have lost those sons, talking to those young boys and girls who can't go to school, talking to that father who has lost 2 or 3 of his elders, talking to that community that is under siege.
It's your boy, Cousin Wayne. I've been a violence intervention specialist for 15 years. And I can say one thing, we losing our kids. Violence is out of control right now. The pandemic is really crushing our people. There's no jobs. People can't see their future right now. So everybody's scrambling, just putting their hands in anything and not caring about the next person. If you got a way to help, we need you.
Greetings, my name is Kepra Kieris, and I'm the Director of Wellness and Therapeutic Services at Life Camp Inc. We treat violence as a disease because studies show that exposure to violence begets more violence. And the trauma of violence, whether experienced or observed, causes chronic stress-related illnesses that can also lead to death. At Life Camp Inc., we believe a healthy mind and body creates a more peaceful community, which is why we have such a strong focus on therapeutic wellness services. And that is why we push for policy to treat violence as a public health issue. So join us at lifecampinc.com and swipe up to learn more about how together we can make peace a lifestyle.
What's up, everybody? This is Greg with the Community Justice Action Fund. And I'll never forget 7 years ago when I was shot, watching my family in tears just to turn around and watch politicians avoid the issue of gun violence on my television screen. And that's why I joined CJAF. Every year, over 100,000 people are shot or killed by guns, and over 70% of those folks are of color. And so that's why we're here, to advance policy that will reduce gun violence and hopefully prevent the incidents that cost us the lives of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and so many others. So hopefully you'll swipe up to get involved and stand with us to end gun violence once and for all. Thank you.
My name is Tashara Jones. I'm the treasurer of the City of St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm chair of Policymakers for Peace. We no longer have the luxury of time. We need change now. And that change starts by changing policies at the federal, state, and local levels. Changing policies like use of force, qualified immunity, and stand your ground are just a few ways that we can improve policing in America and reduce gun violence. Join us.
August 7, 2006, my life changed forever. My son, Andrell Duran, was murdered. Although I was in unforgettable pain, I knew that I wanted to make a difference on both sides of the gun. My name is Orisa Napa Williams, and I established Not Another Child, Inc. in memory of my son and to save the lives of countless families and communities that have been greatly impacted by gun violence. Make a donation today. Donating saves lives. Thank you.
In the hospital, the doctor said I only had minutes before I would have lost my life due to blood loss. And after 21 days in the hospital, 6 months of recovery, 6 surgeries in a lifetime, I imagine, of trauma, I'm here standing before you today about this issue. While in the hospital, I'll never forget, the nurse shared that every day young black men come through those hospital doors just like me. And even my cousin Tyler, who rode in the ambulance with me when I was shot, this spring lost his best friend to gun violence in Greensboro, North Carolina. In America, over 100,000 Americans are either killed or shot by guns every year.
Hi, Amber Goodwin with the Community Justice Action Fund. Thank you so much for taking the time to help build power with and for Black communities to end gun violence. To the survivors and the frontline activists who shared your story today, thank you. We see you, we love you, and we support you, and we hear you. Black people are disproportionately impacted by gun violence at alarming rates. We can't start to reduce gun violence in this country until we break down the systems of white supremacy that many white people and non-Black people have benefited from for centuries. To reduce gun violence, we need white people and non-Black people to do the work to dismantle these systems. We need everybody in this fight. Swipe up to join us today.